So we've heard Budna's reaction, and we're joined on set now by Channel 7's news director, Jules Vasquez. Jules, what is your reaction to PM's statement?
Well, quickly, I think it has a number of significant flaws, Joe Marie. First, it fails to even mention the videos. The videos are what we are calling for the release of. Channel 7, other media houses have done so, and a number of groups have joined in that, civil society groups, including the NTUCB, including the Association for Defense Attorneys. It does not even mention the videos, and we are demanding, we continue to demand, the release of the videos. We despise that we have to show people every night these same grainy videos. It is not fair to the people of Belize. This thing did not happen privately, it's a public matter. The video should come out. The PM did not even address that. Second, and I need to add there that Karim Musa, the Minister of Home Affairs, said last week, release the videos. He also said, appoint an independent investigator. However, the Prime Minister said that under the recommendation of Acting Commissioner Bart Jones, they will appoint the Assistant Commissioner. It misidentifies her in the press release as a Deputy Commissioner. Wrong. She's not a Deputy Commissioner. She's an Assistant Commissioner. It puts her, Suzette Anderson, in charge of the investigation. I have a problem with that. Let me tell you, Suzette Anderson, ACP, Assistant Commissioner of Police, second highest ranking woman in the police department, is an excellent and fair woman, an excellent law enforcement professional. I believe she seeks to do right. I think she's a good cop. My problem is she lives on Guinea Grass Avenue in Orange Walk Central. She is one of the Prime Minister's constituents. No, I'm not saying that's why she was chosen, but these things have to be above. We have police investigating police.
Yeah.
We can't have any appearance of bias or influence. She is a constituent of the Prime Minister.
Are you sure of this?
100. She's a constituent of the Prime Minister, and I'm not saying that's why she was chosen. I am not saying that will affect her performance. I believe she's a fair and professional woman. But the appearance of it, this has to convince the public. The public's confidence in the political directorate and in the police is very low because we can see that police abducted them. We can see that the political directorate took 17 days to react. 17 days, and it's only because of the blistering and relentless coverage we have given. The public is suspicious. You cannot put, I believe, you cannot credibly put one of the Prime Minister's constituents, though she's an excellent professional, to lead the investigation because of the appearance. How would it look to the man or woman on the street? That is the bar you have to pass. I don't think it passes that bar. In terms of competence, in terms of integrity, she surely does. I will not impute upon her. But the appearance is not good to have a constituent there. Number 3, I have a problem because the release says the report is to be submitted to the cabinet. I think she has until the end of the month to submit the report to cabinet. This is very irregular. Reports, investigations are submitted to the DPP. I have a problem when the police is reporting to the political directorate. I have no faith in the judgment of the cabinet. Mr. Budna believes, not without reason, I can't say it's factual, but Mr. Budna believes that the political directorate was involved. That is who is in that room, in the cabinet. It says that the report is to be submitted to cabinet, which will act swiftly on its recommendations. I do not accept or believe that, and I don't think anyone in the public would, knowing what's at stake here. There is a high level of skepticism.
Yes.
The government has to work to overcome that. So, and my other problem is that it leaves the commissioner, he's still the commissioner.
Yes.
It leaves him in position as the compol. And I think that he can continue to exert influence over a proceeding investigation. He's still a compol. He hasn't been removed. Right? Now, removing him is not easy. I understand that. But we're on unprecedented grounds here.
Yeah. So, does this leave room for the commissioner to return? He's only on leave. Will he be back?
I will say this here. Commissioner Richard Rosado is DED. I do not believe he will see that fine office again. That is my belief. I have no factual evidence. But why do I say that? No commissioner of police has ever been put on mandatory leave effective immediately for the publicly stated reason that you just said of submitting a substandard and unsatisfactory report. He cannot be brought back because he has been publicly shamed and undermined. The Prime Minister said, this report is not good, and that's why. And the other circumstances as well. Because his name is being directly called by Budna.
Yeah.
And it pains me to say it, but Budna has so far in this case been a reliable witness.
Yes.
The things he has said from the outset have rung true. And I will say this, I believe that calls, that when they got to Arenal, I believe that a call was made to that high office in the police department to get them through the Arenal checkpoint. So, I don't think it's looking good for the future of Commissioner Rosado. And I want to underscore here, you said it in your story, I believe, 131 days.
Yep.
April 30th to September 8th.
Yes.
He lasted 131 days. That would mean, and he's still on leave, so you can add the 45 days. Let's call it 176 days.
Yeah.
I do not believe he will be back, and maybe I'm wrong. Great, but even if he's back, it won't be for a long time, because he's been publicly undermined, and we have to note the historical irony. He replaced the longest-serving commissioner in history, Chester Williams, and he will become, I believe, this is not stated yet, I believe he will become the shortest-serving commissioner. Dr. Richard Rosado. Now, the problem that the political directorate has, because somebody gave the order.
Right.
Somebody, I believe, not just a wealthy person, somebody with political clearance. Because the police did this in view of 5 security cameras, and they knew they did that. And they didn't think that would be a problem because the political directorate would take care of that. And unwittingly, let us say, unwittingly, the Prime Minister is proving that true. I don't want to say he's doing it deliberately, but unwittingly, the Prime Minister is proving it true. These footages are not seeing the light of day, which is what the abductors expected, because they believed they had clearance from the political directorate. So, my point is that Compol Rosado is exposed for lying multiple times.
Yeah.
He made a mistake, said it was a SUV, then it said it was a car, but he said no police officer responded, which we know the footage shows otherwise. He also said that no police officer was involved when it's clear that police officers were involved.
Yeah.
I think the political directorate is questioning why they put him on administrative leave, which is a great embarrassment for someone so senior. Somebody appointed by the Governor General. And I think we have the footage of the day he was appointed and he was handed the sword of command.
Yeah.
This is not a small thing to place such a person on leave. The reason they did that is they hope that in 45 days, things calm down. And that Budna is not said on the news a million times a night. And that in that time, they will have to negotiate I believe, just my instinct, and they will have to negotiate an exit package with the commissioner. In terms of compensation, maybe pay him through to retirement. I don't know his age offhand, which would be very expensive if they paid him through to retirement. But why do they have to do this? Because if if the commissioner was involved, as it is alleged, and as he has denied, stress that. But if he was involved, he did not do that on his own. If he was involved, or if he had knowledge of it, if he had knowledge of it, a politician told him to do that. I want to stress, Barry Flowers is the next officer. Barry Flowers came off interdiction the day Commissioner Rosado took office, or that week.
Right.
Barry Flowers is on interdiction now. He was identified by Joseph Budna as the person in the white t-shirt and three-quarter pants. So, I have credible information that Flowers went, though he was on leave, he went to the Mahogany Street station, I am reliably informed, on the Friday of the kidnapping, and he went to pick up a weapon, and he had authorization from a very high office in the police department. I'm waiting to get that evidence. But I'm saying that this implicates Mr. Rosado indirectly. The entire presence of Mr. Flowers brought off interdiction that week. Chester Williams had put him on interdiction.
Why was he placed on interdiction?
He was placed on interdiction because of the post he made about Compol Williams.
Oh, the
On the
cyberbullying.
night we announced that Compol Williams was formally going, he put a bunch of posts saying many unkind things about Compol Williams and former Compol Williams, and he does not play. He brought him up on cyberbullying charges and put him on interdiction. He was brought off interdiction, and all three officers' names I'm hearing are assigned to the SPU,
Special
recently
Patrol.
assigned to the Special Patrol Unit. So the officer commanding for SPU, Mr. Gamboa, has to do some explaining. These officers, one said he was on special assignment, another said he was on special assignment, Mr. Flowers was on leave. These things draw questions, but they all come back to Rosado. You don't end up in SPU on your own.
Yeah.
So Rosado has a lot of questions to answer, but can an ACP go and investigate the commissioner? Can she ask him for his phone to see what calls were made on the night of August 22nd? Can they take possession of his phone? Because the police have certain tools that can draw information off a phone which you may have deleted. Will she do that? Will she go to the commissioner and tell him, we need your phone? If it were a civilian, they would. But I think it will be very hard for an assistant commissioner of police to go to the commissioner and try to do that. So the political directorate has one greater problem. If someone gave Rosado the higher order, can he be trusted to keep quiet? That is not known at this time.
No.
Will he expose someone? That is the concern. That's why, in my mind, then I put it brakes, not stop, just then tap the brakes. Because if he was involved, someone else higher was involved, and they can be exposed like that. So, so that's where it is with Rosado.
So why was there no cabinet shuffle?
There was no cabinet shuffle because the Prime Minister was very sharp in his words with Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa last week. But there was no cabinet shuffle because they have to minimize the political exposure.
Right.
They have to minimize the political exposure because clearly it's Karim Musa who submitted the report to the Prime Minister. You have to understand, Richard Rosado is Karim Musa's pick for Commissioner of Police. The Karim boy. That was Karim Musa's very deliberate pick. This is what I believe happened. In his second term, Karim Musa, who is no favorite of the Prime Minister, got, I believe, stiffed with the same Ministry of Home Affairs, which is a tough and problematic ministry, where at all points you're accountable for the deeds and misdeeds of 2,600 police officers, many of whom have knocked their heads hard. So 2,600, let's say 1,000 and then a proper knockhead. So I'm just saying, it's a tough job. He got stiffed with that ministry again. So he, I believe, this is just my supposition, informed, if I am going to have this ministry again, I need my own compol. Prime Minister let him go through. And he brought in, or he chose Richard Rosado, who was next in line, that's fine, but that is his compol. So this immediately affects
Him.
and affects Karim Musa in a very direct way in terms of his political standing within the internal ranks of the PUP. It definitely affects him, and now he has to work with a new commissioner who was not his choice. Very easy man to work with, very professional. Bart Jones, he's a deputy compol, acting compol right now, and I believe he will eventually be confirmed as a full compol, but it's a big setback for Karim Musa, both in terms of political strategy and in terms of